Welcome to a world where truth can be stranger and darker than fiction. Today, we dive into a case that gripped America, the disappearance of Sherri Papini. In 2016, a young mother of two vanished during a jog in the quiet town of Redding, California. Her story dominated headlines, sparked social media storms, and left millions wondering, what happened? Was it a kidnapping, a murder, or something else entirely? This is a tale that starts as a nightmare, but ends in a shocking revelation. Let's unravel it together. So let's step back to that fateful day. On November 2nd, 2016, Sherri Papini, a 34-year-old housewife, goes for a run. She's the picture-perfect American mom. Blonde, devoted, with two kids and a loving husband, Keith. But that day, she doesn't come home. Keith returns from work to an empty house. Sherri's phone, earbuds, and a strand of her blonde hair are found on the roadside. The police sound the alarm, volunteers comb the woods, and the media dubs it the mystery of the year. Who could have taken Sherri? And why? Her family is desperate, and the public demands answers. But as the police dig deeper, more questions arise. Sherri's disappearance becomes a national obsession. Social media explodes with number sign, Find Sherri hashtags. People compare her case to Gone Girl, the thriller about a woman whose life wasn't what it seemed. Volunteers raise thousands for the search, and Keith begs the kidnappers to return his wife. The media paints Sherri as the ideal victim, a blonde mother, the embodiment of the American dream. But some notice oddities. Why so few clues at the scene? Why is Keith so certain she's alive? The public splits. Some believe in a kidnapping, others smell a hoax. Then, after 22 days, a miracle happens. On Thanksgiving morning, Sherri Papini is found alive on a highway 150 miles from home. She's emaciated, chained, covered in bruises and burns. Sherri tells a horrifying story. Two Hispanic women kidnapped her, held her captive, beat her, and even branded her. America is stunned. The police launch a manhunt for the culprits, and the media hails Sherri as a survivor. But detectives start to wonder. Her injuries look off. And where's the evidence? Sherri's tale is chilling, but something doesn't add up. The police dive deeper. They analyze phone records, interview witnesses, and check alibis. And then inconsistencies emerge. Sherri claims she didn't know her captors but can't describe their faces. Her injuries, including the branding, seem deliberately inflicted, yet amateurish. Detectives find DNA on Sherri's clothes, but it doesn't belong to women. Instead, it points to a man. Who is he? And why is Sherri dodging detailed answers? The police begin to suspect that this kidnapping might not be a kidnapping at all. In 2020, the truth finally breaks. The police reveal Sherri Papini was never kidnapped. She spent those 3 weeks with her ex-boyfriend, James Reyes, at his home in Costa Mesa. Sherri inflicted her own injuries using a hockey stick and heated metal to fake abuse. She cut her hair, starved herself to appear gaunt. There were no Hispanic women. It was all a carefully orchestrated lie. But why? Why would Sherri deceive her husband, the police, and the entire country? The answers are more complex than you'd think. Investigators and psychologists scramble to understand. What drove Sherri to this? Some believe she suffered from an undiagnosed mental disorder, perhaps Munchausen syndrome, where people fake injuries for attention. Others point to cracks in her marriage. Sherri and Keith faced financial stress, and she may have felt invisible as a housewife. Some even suggest a hunger for fame. Sherri relished the media spotlight. What's clear is her lie shattered her family's trust and sparked public outrage. But it also raises a question. Was Sherri a villain or a victim of her own mind? In 2022, Sherri Papini pleads guilty to lying to authorities and fraud. She didn't just fool the police, she defrauded charities that raised over $30,000 for her search. The court sentences her to 18 months in prison and a $300,000 fine. Keith files for divorce, gaining custody of their children. The public is divided. Some brand Sherri a monster. Others pity her as a troubled soul. But her case leaves a bitter taste. How far will someone go for attention? And what happens when trust is broken? In 2024, Hulu releases Perfect Wife, the mysterious disappearance of Sherri Papini, a three-part docuseries that thrusts the case back into the spotlight. For the first time, Keith Papini shares his pain, and detectives reveal how they unraveled the web of lies. The series poses tough questions. Why do we rush to believe victims' stories? How do the media amplify sensationalism? And what happens when a victim is exposed as a liar? Dubbed the real-life Gone Girl, Sherri's story is a cautionary tale about truth and deception. The Sherri Papini case is more than a true crime story. It's a mirror reflecting our fears, biases, and thirst for drama. Sherri fooled everyone, but perhaps we wanted to be fooled, clinging to the image of a perfect victim. Her story reminds us to question narratives, seek facts, and recognize that truth is often messier than fiction. Thank you for joining us. What do you think of Sherri Papini? Victim, liar, or something in between? Share your thoughts, and stay tuned for our next dive into the shadows of true crime.